understand the 48-second counter in the top corner. It's like, hey, you've been doing things for 40 seconds. No, I haven't. Or is it like a oh, maybe it does like the dash cam, so when you hit the button it goes back and it's already recording the previous 30 seconds. Maybe that's why I don't know. We'll have to see. So next time we do this, we'll have to say something for like 30 seconds and see if it's in the actual stream when it goes. Yay. So we got 0 viewers at the moment, but I know there's more than that.
That's weird.
They'll be there.
Hello, no people.
Hello, people. We're back on our normal Sunday live stream, just without the normal thing to review, because as we discussed last week, we have no more Build Divers until April. No. So, whatever shall we do? We needed to find a series that was shorter, so roughly 13-ish episodes, and would be easy enough for us to review and access. So we scrolled through thousands and thousands of things until we came upon some little-known series. It has something to do with Gundam. I don't even know.
Gundams and origins, and I think it has something to do with a comet.
There is a comet involved. Some guy or something called a red comet, as predicted in the past, foretells the coming of dragons. I'm going to tie this to Game of Thrones as much as I can.
I was going to say something about Dead Sea Scrolls, but you know, you do you.
No, because the opening of, or at least at the end of season 1 of Game of Thrones ends with a red comet screaming across the sky, and it does signal the return of dragons. So there we go. So what's going on, guys? I see a few people in the chat already. Lolly Master has been here for a while. Jerry Lil, I forgot this one tonight. How did you forget? You commented earlier. Dummy. So card 995. So for the most part, we will do this every Sunday. Next week is a maybe because it's both our birthdays, sort of. So we'll see what happens. And actually, right now, it's still a question on what day my birthday party is going to be on. Because not enough people have even replied to that post. So we'll see what happens. 9 people now. Yes, so there's a slight delay there. You guys ever be lying on your bed thinking about potatoes? No Celtic films. I don't lie awake lying thinking about potatoes. I lie thinking about what this guy's going to do to me back here. Devastator says hi.
Hi, Devastator.
He follows me everywhere.
Should bring him as a ride along on your job.
No, he would get destroyed doing that. So let's just go ahead and turn his face off. We'll just leave his hand there. So either way, bring that bad boy up. No, he was in my face like all last week. I don't want that this week. So I see Eric in the thing there. And did I even have other than my best lists? Didn't have much happen. We have a new year. It is 2020 now. Yay.
Oops.
The year of looking back on everything, because it's going to be a joke until December 31st. But anyway, so my best and worst list of 2019 plus my favorite stuff and all that stuff is live. Go watch that, please, because the last couple really didn't get as many views, and I assume that's because it was so many posts in a certain amount of time, and it stopped pushing that. So, yay for that. Patroneers, you also got a couple videos already up. You guys get to see the first couple reviews of the year. And actually, tomorrow you'll see the next review a little bit early. That'll be the first official review that'll be posting on Tuesday. Do you got anything going on? You had an Exia appear on your page. You had a wild Exia appear.
Yes, I did. That was really cool, and gotten some pretty decent views on that, particularly for my stuff. So that's cool. I got a review for what's it called? The Argyagya should be going up. Sadly, not tomorrow. I haven't had a chance to edit the video, but I'll probably have that go up on Tuesday.
Yeah, Gyanko's suit. That's one of my favorite ones from Build Fighters.
It is so cool. Spoiler alert.
Yep. This is the first stream that I caught live scene actually of yours. How does this work exactly? We talk, you comment, we may or may not see what you say, and we're going to be going over the episode probably not a huge amount of spoilers here unless you haven't really ever gone back to watch Gundam the Origin. So generally speaking, now that you know what we're going to be doing, go watch it. We say go do it on Crunchyroll. It's probably the easiest place to find the actual episodes of the series, not the movies, because we weren't going to sit there and try to review an hour and a half long thing.
No.
But it'll only be 6 episodes for us to do, so it'd be fine. So basically, we're going to talk about it. If you don't want spoilers, duck out, come back later after you have watched it. That's fine. I may or may not start linking them in the description for anybody who wants to see them. Obviously, no sponsor from Crunchyroll, although that would be great.
Hashtag please sponsor.
Hashtag please sponsor. Jeremy Osha, Arturo J. Briano. Cool. How about that Master Grade Barbatos? We talked about that last week, Robert White. Where were you? Where were you? By the way, I really love the thumbnail we came up with. That was hilarious.
Oh my god!
By
I showed it to my
we, I
son
mean
and
me.
my wife, and they thought it was hilarious.
Yes, so that's what we would look like with blonde hair, in case you're wondering. Oh, you did have a different thing go up. You had an animated version of your comic go up on your other channel.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, my wife actually put that together.
Yes, that was actually pretty cool. Let me see. Yeah, you need more views on that. Guys, go watch his review of his Perfect Grade Exia. Link in the description down below. Go subscribe to that one. That one. I'll get it right eventually.
It's all right.
Apparently, Lolly Master 69 is like way behind because he's saying finally a living person in the comments. There's been a lot of people there. Is the series just the movies split up? I assume they did what they did with Unicorn and broke down the movies, plus probably added or changed a few scenes.
That's my understanding on this.
That's probably the understanding because there's things that happen in this episode that I expected to see because I know they were in the movies and I did not see them. So, and mind you, I've only seen maybe 1, maybe 2 of the Origin, and they're usually at the tail end. I've not seen the beginning, and I've really seen any of that. So I'm still a noob. If you guys have been around a long time, you know I'm a UC noob. So this is my first foray going back into early UC stuff. He's seen most of things, but not really the series from Origin. You've seen the movies.
Yeah, I watched the movies on because they're on Hulu, I think it is. So I had checked them out a year or so ago. I think that actually a year or so ago is when I think I finished them off or something. Yep.
Also, guys, before we go any further, make sure you tell Eric to finish his Unicorn in the comments.
Yeah, I finished my Perfect Grade Exia. Why aren't you finishing your Perfect
Grade? He's getting there. He's struggling to get through the legs, which means he also still has the weapons and other garbage to get through. So, guys, motivate Eric to finish his Unicorn because right now he's hating it and not wanting to touch it. So, in the comments, in the chat, make sure you tell Eric to finish that Unicorn in all caps.
Hashtag finish the Unicorn.
Apparently Keith is on his way. He says OMW. That means on my way. I was like, Keith, you don't know where we live, so that's weird. So I assume he just means something up. But either way, yeah. So that's what's going on lately, and that's how we do the things. We're just mostly waiting for a few more people to show up.
Yep. Making me wish I had something to drink.
What?
I said making me wish I had something to drink.
Pepsi and bourbon.
Oh, nice.
I don't have to work tomorrow. Plus, I get a little more fun as I drink a little bit. Gonna grab something to drink. Be right back. Bye. Bring us back something.
Yeah.
I can't be the oi heretic here who doesn't really care about the show or movies, only here for the kits, right? No, you're here to have us talk about things because you enjoy our company. You better finish that Beast of Possibility. There we go. I know so little about the UC. I'm right there with you, Arturo. I know modern UC. I don't know old UC. I just know ins and outs as I build kits and people yell at me in the comments. That intro is pretty... My
knowledge is limited as well.
Okay, that intro is pretty sick. Not gonna lie, I really need some more vids on it for that alone.
It's talking about my exit.
Oh, on your thing. Yeah.
I had so much fun with that.
The video I can't wait for you to get a copyright strike for, because you used freaking music from the series like an insane person. It's one thing to use a sound effect like I did, but you used the freaking music in all of it. So it's all good. Yes, he definitely deserves more views on all of his things. Go watch him. And of course, if you're interested in Build Divers kits, he's going to be building most of them. I just built Valkylander. It's over there. I'm going to be reviewing it tomorrow. You'll see it eventually in the month. I worked out my whole schedule for January and the beginning of February. It's going to be a packed month. I got to get back to work. it's like
I was going to say, if there's any justice in the world, I should get the Mars 4 and the weapons pack for the V2 and Mars 4 in like this week, I think. So,
and none of those things for my birthday present.
Your birthday present has already arrived.
I know, and I don't know what it is. So that's the problem. Like, people actually getting me birthday presents, and I don't know what they are because nobody ever gets me anything. I get myself stuff. Oh, by the way, so if you guys watched my Christmas tree lighting this year, where I put the new bear guy on top and then it fell and broke and all that, we put all the Christmas stuff away. Still can't find the missing feather.
It must have gotten like integrated into the tree or something.
No, the thing is, like, completely disassembled the tree. I thought maybe it was under the base of the tree, like we have it up on a raised thing. I thought maybe it had gone under there, under the tree skirt. Nope. So the only place I think it could be is somewhere under the table. I mean, you've been here, you know, the table, the dining room table. I think it's buried under there somewhere or stuck up under a baseboard because it's a little bitty white feather about that big. So it's going to be hard to find.
I mean, maybe it somehow bounced and went into that vent or something like that that's next to the dining table or something.
I don't even know how that would happen. That would have to bounce like 4 feet in the air. Let's see here. The only regular Gundam show I've watched is IBO, and I think you just mean Gundam series.
Yeah.
Regular Gundam show. That's by far not a regular Gundam show. I have the Gundam Alex and the Zaku that the Alex fights. What is the Alex fight?
The Alex, the Zaku in Gundam 0083. Sorry, no, 0080 is the what, FJ or something like that.
Oh, is it the custom one? The Kai thing?
Well, it's not necessarily a Kai. It's a different version of the Zaku because they did like they wanted to make it look cool for the OVA series.
It's the RE100.
What's that?
It's that one that's the RE100.
Yeah, and it's like the FJ or something like that, and they had to give it its own designation to justify why the heck it looked like that.
Yeah, that's a war in pocket. I meant more the war drama focused Gundam animes. They all have wars. Most of the time, the wars start within the series. First MG is going to be Barbatos, so we'll see how it goes. Your first MG. Oh, that sucks. I can't say anything about MG Barbatos yet because I will get it eventually. We were talking about it last night at the build meet, which, by the way, if you're in the greater Houston area and you want to come to a build meet, we have them every other week at Space Cadet in the Woodlands. So look up Space Cadet Comics and Collections, and they have events on their Facebook page. And actually, the one for the 18th, if you were planning on coming to that, has been moved to the week after. So some stuff happened, so it's going to be moved to the week after. So they're just going to have 2 back-to-back. So if you're interested, come on out there. We actually had a decent crowd last time. So yay!
Sorry, I missed that. I was playing a Warforged and killing lizard people in their sleep.
It's okay. You have to make it up to me. All right, so shall we get to it now that we have 15 people watching?
Sure.
Okay, so Gundam The Origin. By the way, we have papers. I printed mine. Wait, how many did you get?
Like 2 1/4 or something.
Okay, I stretched mine out to 5. I typed out a lot more things. Okay, so it is episode Origin 1, which we are still debating on if it's supposed to be Child of Zion or Child of Zeon. Every translation we've seen, including in the episode itself and on the wiki, says Zion. So, okay. So we'll just call it Child of Zion because of that. And And it opens up on a universe I know nothing about, because that's just how it works.
The opening is really neat because it starts off it looks like we're looking at a star field.
Yeah.
But when you pan down, you realize, oh, that's not stars. You're looking at the city lights of the colony as it, rotates around. So you're seeing the ground on the other side, and that's just a really cool visual effect. As an artist, I approve.
Yeah. And it does pan down to a very nice house where a blonde child is trying to sleep, but is being kept awake by his father's yelling about his speech that's being done. And he is ready for it to go tomorrow. He wants his wife, Astrea, however you want to say it, Astrea, to read over his greatness. It's like, hey, read it. It's awesome. And she's like, just stop shouting. You're going to wake up the children.
Well, actually, the problem is he's like, no, this speech isn't awesome. It's not awesome enough.
Well, he didn't get there yet. He's just like, this is awesome. Can you reread this? And then, she says, you're going to wake up the children. And it's too late. He's already awake. But honestly, he's pretty much as bad as my new upstairs neighbors about waking people up and keeping them up. So he kind of reacts pained. It looks like he's just like he's dying all of a sudden. And then he drops his papers and goes everywhere. He goes, it's all wrong. It's like, it's not this. It's like, it's a demand for autonomy. Say it's supposed to be a declaration of war. I put where? Well, war to the Earth sphere, but I can't find the words. So I think technically this is Hiroto's dad. And so he's trying to crumple the balls up and chunk them in the corner. But wait, no, that's the wrong universe, wrong series. I'll come back to that. This is starting to feel like a book club. It is a book club. Go watch the episode and come back and discuss it with us. It's a weekly book club, dorks. All right, so wow, I really spelled this name wrong. Australia.
Sounds like an autocorrect there. Gotcha.
No, it's not Australia proper. It's just really badly spelled. There's a few extra letters in it. Australia tells him to rest, lie down, chill for a minute, because he's like really, really freaking out. Yeah. And he looks at her with that "I'm definitely gonna die soon" face.
But he's looking at her. His eyes are shaking.
Yeah, he's got the eyes shaking.
How will I be able to rouse my disciples?
Yeah. And then he said, tomorrow I'll be dragged away to Golgotha and executed. I will address the world from atop my cross, because he has a hell of a Messiah complex going on.
Yes, because comparing yourself to Jesus is totally rational and not crazy at all.
No. But as we see as this goes on, there is a really devout following of this man, Mr. Zeon. He keeps ranting on about the sinners to be punished by Gaia and things like that. And she tells him to rest, and he says, no, I must go see the children. Which is great parenting. He's already been bitched at for making too much noise and waking up the kids. So he's like, I'm going to go see the kids. And she's like, don't you fucking do that. And he goes and does it anyways, because he's a great parent. Busts in the door. Oh, yeah, he kicks in the door. Well, not really, but I'm just imagining if this is Bill Divers and he just kicks in the door like Kazumi would. And it scared the shit out of the cat on the bed, not literally, but figuratively, which I love in this. Everybody else looks very well drawn, and the cat looks like something out of Sailor Moon.
The cat very much looks like a animal character that would have been drawn in like the mid to late 70s. I mean, all the character designs are very much like a more detailed version of those 70s character designs. Yeah. So it's funny that it's kind of funny.
Yeah, the cat is not. The cat is straight up like old school 70s, very early 80s animation. Scares a cat, and he goes to pick up his daughter, kind of stirs her a little bit, and she's like, Daddy, what are you doing?
Your beard's all scratchy. Your
beard's all scruffy. Yeah. And for some reason, she just starts glowing.
I think it's supposed to be symbolic. I don't think she's actually supposed to be glowing.
No, it's new type magic, probably. But it's all cute and shit. They want it. I think they were going for more religious symbolism. Mm-hmm. And that's why they're like the Heavenly Father holding the blessed child, so to speak. So he tells her good night and that she's a sweet child. And clearly, Mr. Side-Eye McGee in the other bed is a less sweet child, as he's like over looking at him like, I see how that works.
Constable just sort of stewing under the covers, going.
Yeah, basically, better dad than Show Tucker. Everyone's a better dad than Show Tucker. Wait, why is it becoming up so much a lot in memes? Okay, I went up my nose. I didn't finish swallowing before I started talking. That went up my nose. Okay, when I watched this,
I can't say anything.
Yes, well, I'm underprepared for this. Yes, when I watch this, I will be left wanting all of the origin kits, aren't I? Yes, but you won't be able to get any of them, so it doesn't matter. All right. Well, you'll be able to get the latest re-releases, and there's like a very recent new origin Char Zaku 1, if I remember correctly, just came out not long ago. But then we go to the intro, which is the longest damn intro. It just keeps going, and it's like all spoilerific. They're like, "Hey, do you want to know everything that happens for like the next 3 episodes? Because here it is." And it is legit like a minute and a half long. It goes from like 2 minutes and change to like 3.5 minutes. It's great music though. I like it. The art style is cool. It's very nice. It's just like I'm sitting there watching it. After about 45 seconds, I'm like, seriously, it's not over yet. Like so, I just kept tapping ahead 10 seconds, like. There we go.
And the intros are always a little on the long side, though. That's why they often get trimmed down or removed entirely in America.
Yeah, but I mean, like sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. This one felt lengthy. I don't know why. It just did. It felt really lengthy. Then we get a great establishing shot of the colony, which looks incredibly smoky or cloudy and gray. And then brought up a question: does it rain on colonies? Like, do they have weather control systems?
I want to say it's mentioned in some of the fiction that they have weather control.
Now, because I've seen clouds. Yeah, you see clouds, but the question is, clouds can come from a lot of things, such as fights and explosions and all that. So the question is, are these generated clouds? Now, I know that in other universes, when they have colony, generally it's just like perfectly clear all the time. You've got your light being shined in from whatever and stuff like that, but it's a nice shot. It's a nice shot of the thing. Mm-hmm. And it goes into what I assume is some form of the Federation Congress deal going on.
Looks very much like the UN chambers and stuff.
Very much so. So I'm assuming that the Earth Sphere type of Congress or United Nations sort of thing. Origin Heavy Gundam with my first pre-pandescent into hell. Nice conjugation of words there. So P Bandai descent into hell. Nice. But this is the thing I didn't understand. So they're getting a news report, and you get it on the screen. It says Diet Chairman. Okay. Zeon Zoom Dakin is about to give his speech. I bet he doesn't. Oh, look, he totally has a heart attack. Keels over.
Dramatic glass falls.
Yeah. Dramatic glass falls and shatters. And I wrote this, mind you, I know a bit about the UC, and I've seen the later episodes of this, and I know a lot of the memes about Char and such. So I literally wrote here in my notes, knowing the Zabi family is shitheads, I already know they killed him without even seeing this before. It's like, I already know they're shitheads. They definitely killed him. I don't know why they killed him, but I know they killed him. But that would be a hell of a thing if he did succeed in his speech, if he was actually going to be trying to basically declare war on the Federation in the Earth Sphere. Be like, screw you, we want our independence. That's what we're going for. But I guess he put forth a much more peaceful request for independence, not a violent upheaval, so to speak, as he was trying to plan. And this was a discussion you and I were having before we got started, because in previous canon, not that this is 100% canon, but it could be technically retconned, he supposedly was going to give an or a more unified, like peaceful speech, not a going against the Federation speech.
And I swear, if I remember correctly, when I watched the movie version of this, that bit at the beginning where he's saying what this speech is supposed to do, is I remember him saying something about the speech as I have it written now is going to bring everybody to war, and talking about it as that's not what he wants to do. He doesn't want to go to war. He wants their independence, but he wants to do it in a peaceful manner.
So maybe it's either a mistranslation or they redid that scene. to change the motivation, because the later things that come up are what makes that particularly strange. Newscaster actually says that, you know, he will announce independence from, or will he announce independence from the Federation? And it's pretty clear that there's like already some people gathering outside. There's like already like guards and droves of people out there already. Tensions already seem to be pretty high in this particular colony, or in these colonies, so to speak, which is apparently this is early days, so this is before the Zeon Principality of Zeon existed. This is actually Munzo, what existed first. And I had to look that up to know what the hell they were talking about. So for everybody who says I never research anything, I wikied one thing.
Yeah, Munzo, I think, is specifically the name of that exact colony they're in. And it's what, side 6 is what the group of colonies is called?
That I couldn't. It's either side 6 or side 7. I know a lot of people reference side 7, so I don't know. We talked about sides before on something else. Like, what the heck does side 3? There we go. You have made a note.
No, I remember it was mentioned in the book that I got from my
You have a book. There we go. A very useful book. We'll be calling back to that, even though it's potentially not useful in this particular universe.
Yeah. In case people are wondering what the heck it is, it's this. It's the novelization of the original Gundam series done by Tomino, where almost everything is different. But I know that the names of the colonies are the same. So
yeah. So the confusing thing is, so they refer to Munzo a couple times throughout this, and they never say the word Zeon, with the exception of his name. So like Zeonic forces have not technically been organized yet, but they do mention the Munzo Defense Force, which, if you see the green vehicles throughout this episode that they use later on people, and the symbol they have on there, that's what this is.
Yeah, because you do see what becomes the Zeon flag flying over a lot of stuff.
Yes.
You'll see a lot of people wearing the Zeon uniform, but their hats have what I'm guessing is an early version of the Federation
Earth sphere. That's what I think it is. It's like Earth and then 3 sides.
Yeah,
I think is what that is. But we cut to the car, and they're rushing Estrella and the kids to the hospital, and Artesia is asking, "Is Daddy sick?" And she's like, "Yeah." I mean, really. They get
like, he'll be fine. Everything's fine.
It's fine.
Everything's actually not horrible and gonna just blow up in all of our faces.
Yeah, we know it's like, because she knows what he was about to be up to. So for him to suddenly have a heart attack, so they get there, they pop into the room, which is not room 501. It would have been interesting if it was. All the leaders are lined up there, because that's the thing, and he's laying on a bed under a single lone light. Yeah, he dead.
Totally dead.
Totally dead. Capital D-E-D.
Dead.
And then sad, suspicious music plays as they pan past all those Zabi family. But yeah, oh no, who saw that guy would be dead? And this moment was interesting. So you see that, like, they hesitate, and then the kids are kind of standing there, and you see Estrella try to push the kids forward towards the body. They're like, "You have to go see your father," basically. And as they get a little bit closer, Artesia screams like she knows she's in an anime. She does the very loud scream of, you know, that I can't believe I got that
high. I mean, jokes aside, that scene is particularly poignant, I think, and her reaction, I like how they did it, because she doesn't just go into the scream. She suddenly gasps.
She gasps, pulls back,
and then she lets out that blood-curdling scream, because, you know, she's a little girl and she's just realized Daddy's gone.
Yeah, Daddy was alive yesterday. Daddy dead now. That's not good.
And as somebody with a little kid, that hits me a little bit harder, I think.
Yeah, and then we cut to another outside view. I'm not sure where this is happening. It's either near that hospital, or it's back at the Capitol building, so to speak. But the protests are beginning, and you see a lot of independence signs being held up, and people are saying, you know, is he okay? They don't know he died, because it's being kept under wraps. But you hear somebody yell, "We're tired of Federation tyranny. We want our freedom." Things like that, which is interesting to think, you know, that they're suffering. Somebody else says we're suffering. That there is some form of tyranny that, basically Earth is sort of holding over the colonies, or maybe this one particular colony.
Did you notice all the signs were in English?
Yeah, I did. I noticed every sign is in English in this. And so you see the police and the defense forces all lined up basically in SWAT manner, like crowd control style, like 10 deep on SWAT guys. It's like, that's crazy. They're guarding the building. And then it cuts to the biggest asshole, Degin Zabi. Degin, however they say his name. And he's basically going on and on and on about the heart attack and how he died, blah, 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 full of bullshit. And you actually see a dude in the background. They're like, oh, like, and he's like, basically like, hey, he told me that our family will watch over you. We're not like the Godfather in any way. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, his last words were definitely, we'll take care of you. If you need anything, call us. Yeah.
We're also going to be, taking over the government and starting the military.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We'll just follow his ideals and everything he stood for. He's great. He was my best friend. I worked beside him for decades. We were good. Take your sunglasses off. You're inside, asshole. Do you know why he wears those sunglasses inside? Because he's got a bright future. And you see Ral, you see a Ral off to the side, having any of it, and then they cut back outside and they've turned the riot hoses on the protesters. Joy. Things continue to get a little bit out of control, so they send in a little bit heavier objects to help control the riots, like gun tanks.
The early type gun tanks.
My favorite thing. But I love the fact that they're so heavy that they're crushing the paved streets and anything on them. Including the squishy things.
Well, that's treads in general, I think, are like really bad on asphalt. That's why you generally don't run tanks over normal roads, isn't it?
Yeah, you're generally not supposed to. But the thing is, they spread the weight out evenly. It's mostly you don't take off quickly with them, because they grip, they're just instant grip, so it can tear up the roads. But these things are so large, so heavy, they're just destroying the roads from just running over. You even see that they're like, like they're actually very unstable trying to drive on these roads, because I guess they use regular pavement in a colony. But then we go to Old Man Ral explaining why the zombies definitely killed Dakin. And he's like ranting like hell. He's like, he killed them because he was against them, all this other stuff.
Meanwhile, the grieving widow is sitting there listening to him go on and on about how her husband has just been killed. And there's the kids over there. Because, for kids.
For kids. Gundam. It's a kid's show.
Your father was murdered.
Your father was assassinated by the zombie family. And you'll have to do something about it. That's basically what he said to them.
Yeah, it's like, you will have to take up his sword or something.
Yeah, and his main thing is that the riots that are happening now, because we skipped over a tiny thing, is that Sasuro probably and definitely leaked the fact that Dakin actually died, so people are rioting now because he be dead, and we don't know why he died, other than, oh, hey, somebody probably killed him, and so basically he knows.
Yeah, the public is is making assumptions like that the Federation had him killed, and thus that's more reason to rise up, declare independence, and start, busting some petty heads.
True that. He said that they have some weird rubber blocks that bolt onto tracks that don't tear up the pavement as much. Yes, that's true.
Oh, okay.
But in the case of like heavy equipment, like diggers and stuff like that, they'll lay down huge metal plates for them to drive over pavement, so they won't destroy things. They evenly distribute the weight and make sure that it's not gripping and just shredding things. But he said that basically the zombies have wanted him out. They could shape it for themselves. And also the fact that I've never heard of Sasuro, so I'm guessing he dies. I've heard of like all of the other zombie family. And because I've seen at least one episode later on in this, I was like, I don't know who this guy is, so I'm guessing he's dead, because he ain't in the future. And
yeah, I remember when I first saw this, I was really confused about who the hell this guy
like,
was.
who is this guy,
I
and why is
know you?
and they show him a lot. They focus on him a lot in this episode for reasons. And Ral says that they need to get his family to his house for protection because, well, they need to make sure that they are okay because they're the last of the Dakins.
Yeah.
And technically speaking, still in power.
I mean, yeah. So Ramba is, a little on the crazy side.
You mean Ramba or Jimba?
Jimba, yeah, or whatever.
Jimba Ral.
He's a little on the crazy side, but he's not wrong.
he's eccentric and definitely hasn't been sleeping. Because dude is like hardcore screaming. Yeah, he's the one who knows what's happening, and clearly, and he was probably in better. Probably better in with Dakin before he died, rather than his definite best friend on digging. So he calls for the best character in the series, Ramba Ral. Young Ramba.
He really is in this. Spoiler alert.
And my only true exposure is a few clips here and there of older Ramba Ral, and then the Ramba Ral from Build Fighters. So this version is so funny. Like, he's young-ish, and he's got to be in the 30s, right? If I had to guess, he's probably like 34. He's just like so energetic. He's like, hey, all the things in his eyes or all whatever. And like when I saw the old one and they kept calling him Ral, I'm like, I know Ramba Ral's not that old, nor does he have a beard. So what's going on? Oh, there he is. And by the way, those riots, don't worry about those. They've been squashed. Gun tanks.
Can't take you anywhere.
That's the part where I was talking about, like, maybe it's in the next episode or something where they showed more action with the gun tanks in the movie clips and stuff. But maybe that's the next episode that I don't know. It's just a thing. So they load up all the family. Ral hops in the lead vehicle. So it's a nice little kind of military vehicle. And he's hanging out. Of
course, it's blue.
It's blue. It's like, gee, I wonder who's driving that. If it was red, we'd probably know whose it was. I even wrote literally, of course it's blue. So they're rolling down the road. He's like, hey, hang this left up here. Nobody will know. Just take that left. Because we're in a giant cylinder spinning in space. Nobody can see anything. Is Dakin or Zeon the family name? His name is Zeon. Dakin is the family name. So he was Zeon.
Daikun.
Yeah, Zom Daikun.
Or Daikun, or
it's Daikun or Dakin.
D-E-I-K-U-N, I think.
Yeah, Casval's his first name. That's the thing. So they're actually saying these names in like English order. So where did I leave off? Oh yeah, so a whole bunch of protesters come over the hill because you couldn't see them from a mile away apparently, and they're like, "Hey, a car! What's that doing? I don't know. Let's stop it and find out."
Right. This seems a little weird because the reaction you're expecting, like violent reactions, like they would pound or shake the thing, but really they're just kind of going, who's inside?
Yeah, they stopped the vehicles. They know where it came from because they saw it come out of the base or whatever that was, technically speaking, the Capitol building. So, and we already know that they've run away from the large tanks that are running over the people who were too slow to get away from the bears. They sent the bears first because you don't know. You just have to run faster than your friend. And so Ramba just picks up a freaking saw and just starts firing, not at them, just in the air, like go away noises. And they're just
none
like,
of them buy it. They're like,
they don't stop. They just continue. They just stop him, and he's like directly, like the vehicles are stopped. They're crowded. All the vehicles. He's firing directly over their heads. Like this is like a 6-foot tall vehicle, and he's just shooting right over their heads.
And he still has plenty of rounds. They can see he's got the rounds for the machine gun strapped over him like he's from Rambo or something like that.
Rambo.
And they're still like, I want to see what's in the car.
Yeah. Isn't the Casval Red Gundam what the Red Warrior came from? No. But thanks for asking. But Like I said, they're like, who is this? Oh, it's the Dakin family. Oh, let us in. We want it on. I don't know what the fuck those people wanted.
Yeah,
Really.
it's a little weird.
And then Obi-Wan comes over the hill, making the sound of a desert dragon. No, it actually shoot.
Oh,
It's actually,
yeah.
It's, by the way, they changed the sound again in the newest version. In case you didn't know. So Cassilia fires 2 rounds and everybody scatters.
Of a pistol, a tiny little like
fancy
P-38.
It's a fancy pistol. It's got the little wings on it and everything. But she fired it up, whereas Ral fired horizontally. It's totally different. Also, small bullets. I don't understand. Also, why are you shooting guns in space, morons? Don't do that.
Let's not shoot off firearms in the the giant pressurized cylinder.
In theory, the tiny bullet probably won't even make it across the colony, given the spin. It'll probably just go and just land about 6,000 feet that way. So that way, had to think about which rotation. But the funny thing is, like, she gets their attention. They stop doing, and then she rides up with all her space Nazis, and she says, "Get them!" And then the people run from the horses because guns weren't scary. They run from the horses.
To be fair, those horses are evil looking. They got red eyes.
Well, hers had red eyes. The other one didn't. So space Nazis run away. Basically how that works. And so she gets off her horse.
Maybe her helmet gives her like a +1 to intimidation or something.
Actually, I think it does. Actually, I think it's +1 sexiness, because even Asteria have to mention something about it. She's like, basically, is like, I like the cut of you. And she's like, I know what you mean. She's like, I know what you mean. And it's like, what was that exchange? That was like literally like, not thanks for saving us, but like, I can't believe that worked, man. You're sexy. It's really how that conversation went. And then they then cut to angry people yelling at each other. It's like, what? It's like their sudden just cuts. It's dark. We're now at the Zabi Castle. And they're definitely not happy with the fact that Caesilia let the Dakins get away. Sasuro looks like he's trying to push out a big turd. And then instead of pushing at himself, he slapped the shit out of Caesilia.
Oh my God.
He slapped her so hard, she actually waited 5 minutes to come back. Like, she's literally like this for the next 3 minutes while they keep talking.
And you see when he slaps her, you see the blood just go flying off. Like,
blood, spit, bullets, whatever. Little C4. Dozel, who's clearly a gigantic pussy right now, he's like, hey, don't do that, but, just don't. Doesn't get in the way or try to stop his sister from getting slapped. He's just kind of, why? Why did you do that? And Sasuro is basically
kind of like this gentle giant thing going on.
Yeah, I think that's what's going on. He's a gentle giant. And Sasuro is just incredibly angry at this point and just yells literally like that his public manipulation plan was starting to convince the people that Federation had Dakin killed. But now he's worried basically that Ral, with them in control or with them under his control, will flip it and be like, he's going to point out that we did it. Well, you literally have done all this effort to make sure that people think that the feds did it because you're still trying to do this thing. And basically, they come to the conclusion that their only option is to just wipe out any opposition, meaning all the Rals, or at least this Ral, because this is Game of Thrones in space, and these are definitely the space Lannisters.
Expect all the
fight me
references to him from him. I've never seen Game of Thrones, so he'll make all these references. I'll just nod and smile.
Space Lannisters. If they were lions, you wouldn't even argue. But basically, they want the Ral family out of the way because they're the only ones who still kind of want things to move along with the Dakin plan. And the only ones who know what the Sabis did. So they walk away bitching about that, and Dozel's just like, do I go? Do I stay with her? What do I do here? I think he's kind of like Scooby-Doo at this point. Ruh-roh. But basically, it goes back to Caesilia, who's still hanging out like, Okay, they're gone. I could turn my head now. And just pouring blood, like knocked out 3 teeth. Like, God.
Yeah.
It's like,
And she has
apparently.
that death glare thing going on too. Like, oh,
Yeah.
this. It's like, oh, so this is how we're going to play it.
Yeah. There's one thing you don't do, and that's piss off Cersei. But apparently nobody told Sasuro that. Because we quickly jump to artillery launcher firing.
Yeah, they're doing like the full military funeral thing going on.
I assume that's what it was, but given they've been talking about fighting and war, and we've already seen things getting to that point, like just within the colony, I'm like, who are they shooting at with this big ass artillery? Once again, firing off weapons in a colony in space.
Yeah, but if it's a funeral thing, that's a blank round of some sort.
They just happen to have artillery blanks. It's like, it's like, why not? But I guess it'll get everyone's attention, which is the point. And we go to the funeral, which is actually
really going off. The bells are ringing, and they're at that cathedral.
It's that big of a deal. Like, I mean, this was their like leader, and in his way, like a military, a political, and a religious leader, almost all tied into one. And this big, ridiculous cathedral and all that. And you actually see the streets lined with like all of their equipment and guards, because they're like, yeah, we might want to protect the procession here. And you get his eulogy where they're basically dumping a lot of exposition and talking about liberation of space noids, and he's basically a martyr to the cause, like all this kind of thing, which I think is really what he wanted anyways. He knew that he would be like basically kind of thrown on, like he said, basically going to be executed after his speech. So I think basically he was expecting to die one way or the other, whether he was being literal or not. He was going to start a war and then die for the cause, essentially was his plan. He just died before his plan got enacted.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then you see the Rals are all on one side and they're all staring at the zombies. And some of the zombies are looking back, some are looking forward, like respectful people. And then Garma, who's a little purple-headed
little baby Garma.
He's sitting there. I wrote down the wrong thing. I forgot to correct this. He's sitting there just playing with his hair.
Yeah.
Cosval looks over at him. He's like, and then he's like, oh. I was like, oh, you're serious. Sorry, I thought you wanted to play with me because you're a cool kid like that. I'm just oh, it's your dad's fear. Yeah. My bad. Then it kicks over to the procession, which is nice. You got a whole bunch of black limos. You got the horse-drawn carriage, or a horse-drawn thing covered in flowers, which is presumably where Dakin's body is. I personally don't think that they would actually have his body there. It's very much like when Princess Diana died.
Mm-hmm. This is all very like European royalty.
It is very German royalty.
Particularly the cathedral itself, I think, is based off of
St. Paul's or St. Peter's, probably.
Yeah.
And then go to the car where Dozel is basically like admonishing his brother for slapping Cassilia. He's like, you didn't have to do that. And then he's like, shut up. Basically, Dozel's just like, come on, man. You didn't have to do that. We're all family. She's our sister, and he basically just blows the fuck up about how the political situation is about to turn into a bloodbath.
Yeah. And then,
no, that was all play. That was play on words, Thomas. Yes, he just suddenly turns into fire. He's now the Human Torch. I like the image though, because on him talking when it happens, it's super cinematic. I love this. It's sort of like mid-sentence, like his body like juts forward and then just fire, and the car explodes because it's what happens at a funeral. I wonder who did that. And Garma is like, oh my god, the car exploded with her uncles in it, and Cassilia is like, chill the fuck out, dude.
You're a hobby.
You're a hobby. Act like it. Yeah, be a man. And then like the dad and other brother are up front and they're looking back like, really?
Well, they all have this sort of like, what the hell just happened here?
They have a what the hell reaction. Cassilia, not so much. But just And then Dozel somehow just kicks the door open because he's alive, because explosion in your face doesn't kill this bastard. And like, this is the creepiest part about
to die.
He's the mountain. Holy shit, he's the mountain. More Game of Thrones. Big dude, super hard to kill, military leader, kind of. So he comes out, he is bloody. Like, whole side of his face is like just tore up. He's bloody from head to toe, and he's just screaming, "My brother's been murdered. Who did this?" Like somebody's in the crowd, like, me? You know, like, what? Like, who did this?
There's like emergency people trying to go up and be like, "Dude, you've just been in an explosion. Sit down. Let's get you to first aid." He's like, "No, I must kill whoever killed."
There you go. War never changes. That's true. But like, everybody's out of the car at this point. Even the Deacons are out of the car, like terrified. Like, what the fuck? It's like, our dad just died. They told us that they killed him. Now he died. What is happening? It's called political intrigue, kids. But guess who is straight faced through the whole thing?
Even when she's outside of the car,
she is totally just red eyed at it. Seriously, she's Cersei. Nobody even gonna comment on the fact that these things are definitely Game of Thrones? Nobody. Come on, you're all nerds. I know you're out there. We got to go back to Jimba now, who is absolutely out of his mind. He's like in his bathrobe. He's like throwing newspapers. He's so pissed. He's like, "God damn, zombies always fucking controlling the media, now making it pitying on them when we're supposed to be exposing the fact that they killed Dakin."
And again, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong. He just sounds insane. And then he even goes even further into that rant, saying, like, look, he killed his own son to pin it on us. And then even Ramba's like, "Is that true, Dad?" And he's like, "What the fuck did you just say?" It's like, "That's not what I meant. Calm down." And it's like, Sasro was a dick, but he was good at his job. Why would they just kill him?
Yeah.
And like, well, the answer is definitely because why wouldn't you?
Because Ramba's exact words was like, "Sasro was a right bastard, but he was good at his jobs, and the other zombies thought highly of him."
Yeah. Yeah, lambs everywhere. Correct, card 9 and 5. Lion doesn't generally worry about the concerns of the sheep. It's the thing. So, and at that moment, Ramba gets summoned by Astoria. Goes to the room, knocks politely. "Hey, guys. Hey. Astoria.
How you doing?
Astoria. Astoria. Thank you for getting there." And he goes inside and walks in on Artesia crying in her mom's lap. He assumes the worst. "Look, I'm sorry your dad died and now this explosion happened in your face. It's okay." And she's like, no. It's dumber than that. And he's like, "What?" "What do you mean it's dumber than that? This is not a direct translation." "I need Lucifer. Bring me Lucifer." Artesia has spoken. Somebody meme that shit. Somebody give me Artesia doing this, "Bring me Lucifer," in red and black. Somebody do that. I need some artists to get on this shit. Basically, she wants her cat. Her cat has been alone for days, and he gets skittish and he gets lonely because cartoon cat.
Or at least that's what she likes to think.
Yeah. Well, it's clear that it has a bond with them, and as we see a little bit later, because it's sleeping with her. It's basically her cat, so go get my cat. And we're somewhere else in the city, obviously. They're not home. They're with the Ral family estate. But then they have this adorbs moment where she's like basically begging him, and he's like, "Oh, Uncle Ramba Ral will get you whatever you want, kiddo."
I put that as like, Ramba agrees to do it because he's awesome.
Yeah, he just totally falls for her bullshit. It's fine. He's a great uncle. He calls himself uncle, gets her calling him uncle, which is great. Which I hope comes back later. I don't know that it does. I haven't seen enough. It's Uncle Ramba Ral will get Lucifer for her. I shall get the cat. If this was a different series, he would be like this. He'd be like, wide-eyed and whatever. I love that he goes outside. He's like, "You, what's your name?" Blah blah blah. Come with me. We're gonna get Lucifer. What? Just keep walking. Like, everybody, we're gonna go get Lucifer. Round up some guys.
And it's like Operation Rescue Lucifer.
Literally, like, what's happening? Like, some of these guys who clearly probably know real religion and all this stuff, they're like, what? We're gonna go rescue Lucifer. Is this an episode of Supernatural? This is total. Now we're into Supernatural, not just Game of Thrones. And it goes all the way to the point where he's outside in his blue car again, and he looks up. Artesia's in the window. She waves. He does the goofy uncle wave. And then she goes, "Oh shit, I forgot to tell him the cat scratches people it doesn't know."
Yeah, he didn't realize he forgot to tell him that the cat will scratch the hell out of them.
How about the fact that cell phones don't exist? Like, hey, Ral, about the cat. That would literally like be the cutscene. Like he's outside the door, like, and you hear the cat attacking the other guys, and he calls, "Did you forget to tell me something about the cat?" That's what it should have been. If this was in Build Divers, it would have been that for sure. Cuteness that could end the war. At this point, the riots have turned onto the Ral family. We see at night, people are like throwing stuff, blaming the Rals now for the death of Sasuro, because that's what zombies do. They kill their own kind and then say, he did that. But wait, but the other guy died. Now we're worried about this guy dying. So the zombies now are doing their master plan. They're sitting there with Dickhead and Dickhead Jr. I can never remember his name. What's the silver-haired one? It starts with a G, I think. I did not write it down.
Is it
Giram? Yeah, something like that. The Legend of Ramba Ral begins with him taking on Lucifer and winning. Did you guys hear about the time Operation Lucifer was a success, but we locked 3 men?
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's good. That's good. This is why we do these live streams.
Mine needs to make that into a shirt.
Yeah. Have a scratched up face. But basically to say, like, look, our plans are working, but the Rals are still here. We need the Ral to not be here anymore because they're the only ones who could fuck it up for everybody. And they're like, well, the old man's got 1 foot in the grave anyways. So, or actually said dead man walking, but, and they're like, what about Ramba? We like him. He's great. And he's popular with people. What do we do about him? And Dozel walks up going, hey, I'm fucked up. I shouldn't be here. But, I like Ramba Ral. Maybe he'd be great to work under me one day. It's like, okay, I know that's what's probably going to happen, but we know he doesn't die. There's some stakes here that aren't real. Guy, and they don't really want to kill him. His dad obviously isn't the problem. He's just a military dude that everybody likes, and he's a good military guy. And then basically, Tywin says the zombie family should shoulder the responsibility of the future to come. Yeah, It's like, we're going to turn this into what we want to do, and you guys can be with it, or you can be in the flaming car.
And overall, Dagwin is trying to is basically saying, telling the other ones, it's like, guys, chill a little bit.
Yeah,
we got this. Don't fly off the handle.
Yeah,
we got the plan. We're going to take over. Learn some duplicity.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He tells them to be duplicitous. It's like, you're going to become duplicitous. And he's like, okay.
It's like, don't lose your shit just yet.
Yeah.
Just
basically what you're going to do is play nice to get along with everybody, but you're going to be trying to finagle how to kill them in the background. They're like, you mean like being a zombie? Yeah.
Backstab and chill.
It's like, have you seen our coat of arms? It's literally a knife to the back of our friend. We always have a knife up our sleeve. And then we jump again. Oh, by the way, Asshole's still wearing sunglasses at night indoors. Future's bright. And he's also got the big shoulder things going on because he has to hold all that responsibility. So we see Ramba, who's definitely disguised with a weird trashy mustache and his face is all fucked up, trench coat and all this stuff. And like everybody's like, "Hey, Captain, what's going on?" And he talks to some dude outside the bar. He's clearly a soldier, and he's like, "Wait, you're bouncing over here after hours?" And he's like, no, that's not what I'm doing.
They needed help. I'm volunteering.
Yeah, I'm just volunteering to help at a bar where hookers are. I mean, ladies of the night. Oh, damn.
Technically, they might be hostesses. So
yeah, hostess, penis hostess. What? But anyway, he goes inside. They didn't demonetize this after. It's not even his dick from last week. It's fine. Goes inside, talking to a dude at the bar, Clamp. And he basically, he talks about like, "Hey, I would follow this dude into battle if you need me to." Wonder if that'll happen. And basically he yells at Miss Hamon, which is also a demon. We're going very biblical here. And I thought it was really interesting that she looked a lot like Estrella. Like she's blue-eyed, blonde-haired. I'm like, wait, did she pick up a night job that we don't know about? Like, hey kids, you sleep. I'm going to the bar to be half naked.
I remember when I initially watched this, I was a little bit confused because it'd been forever since I had watched first Gundam, so I wasn't entirely certain who the character was. And then I remember, oh, that's right. Ramba had the blonde girl with him all the time. Okay, now I remember now.
So that's just going to be like his second down the line?
Yeah.
Okay.
She plays...
once again, I don't know. I figured she'd have a bigger role. Like, they don't usually name people who aren't going to have a bigger role. And being that this is the past, they're going to be like, name drop. Hey, you know this person?
Yeah, like, and she in particular is basically a part of Ramba's appearances in the show.
Okay, that makes sense. Oh, so she's like his Hawkeye?
Which Hawkeye are we talking about?
Hawkeye Chewie? Full Metal Alchemist.
Okay. Because it's like, are you talking about
the powerful blonde woman on his side, basically? But I like that. So he sits down with her. He starts wiping the makeup off his face, the crappy mustache. I guess because, frankly, he knew that people were going to try to kill him if they saw him on the street. So he goes to the bar where everybody knows his name. So it's his cheers. Stop. And she's like, well, you didn't quite get all of these. Like, no, these are from something totally different. What did he say? Black-haired something or other? Or
she was like, it's like, oh, so what sort of conquest do you have this time? He was like, I knew I had it written down here somewhere. It's like a raven-haired.
Raven-haired, that's right. Demon, I think. I don't know what he said. Raven-haired something. And
a raven-haired nimble fiend.
There you go. And so we get this incredibly cartoonish flashback of them trying to catch the cat. They even have the net. They're like, oh no, and then it's like, all that shit. It was hilarious.
I really wish they had actually done a full sequence with that. Not just, I mean, that with it being in that style was fun, but I would have just loved an actual, like, maybe a couple minutes of them running around the house trying to catch this damn cat.
What I want to know is if that's in the manga. Like, is there a scene in the manga where you get that cartoonish flashback?
My understanding is that this is an extrapolation of some sort of weird flashback that happens in Gundam the Origin, because Gundam the Origin originally was actually just a retelling of First Gundam.
Oh, yeah. I don't think this Haman is in relation to the other, the one from Zeta. Definitely looks a lot different. Somebody's asking in the comments. I had to look up who Haman Karn was. I didn't know.
No, completely different. I don't think we're probably messing up. Yeah.
Well, Hamon is basically.
Yeah, because I think hers has an R in it or something like it, doesn't it? It's like Harmon or something like that. I don't know.
Well, you saw it on the screen. It said Hamon.
No, I mean the
Haman.
one for Zeta. The one for Zeta.
No, it's Haman. It's just it's A and not O. It doesn't matter. But basically, he cuts to the quick, so to speak. Cat pun. And he said, "Look, I got to smuggle some people out of here." And he's like, "Who are you going to smuggle?" "I got to get my dad out. He's clearly going to be killed, so let's get him to Earth." And she's like, "Okay, I can do that. I probably use my connections at the Port Authority, but is it just your dad you need to get out?" And he's like, "Oh, you got me." it's like
they're passengers.
Yeah, they're super cloak and dagger about it. I'm just making fun of it. It's actually really well written, actually, like the whole thing about it. And they clearly have an established relationship at this point. And so, like, we've seen the goofy side. This is the serious side of Ral, and I like it. But yeah, the peskier passengers. Hey, I wonder who that could be. Maybe it's the three blonde people. And then we go back to the Ral house where all kinds of shit is going down, including Caecilia just walking up. Hey! And they're like, "Don't let her in here. You can't come in here." It's like,
I'm gonna let her in here.
Yeah, we're not gonna let you in. We know what you're gonna do. It's like, you can't talk to him. We know you're gonna try to kill our father. And she's like, "I don't want to talk to him. I want to talk to Casval." What? You want to talk to like the 8-year-old?
Please come in.
Sure, come on in. It's
totally okay for you to talk it to the heir of the throne, basically.
Little like 8-year-old kid, it's fine. And why they let her how, like, obviously her forces stayed outside. It's just her. It's like, but what's the difference? Like, literally, like, okay, so we're not going to put you in the room with the old man, but we'll put you in the room with a little kid.
Yeah,
sure, great idea. And the old man, of course, continues to freak out. Like,
again,
no,
why did
yeah, once again, not wrong, because he keeps going on, like, saying you can't let her in here. She's gonna kill whatever, this, that, and the other. And then Casval gets out of bed because he's been witnessing this, getting his dress clothes on, which I guess he's only got like 2 pairs of dress clothes on him at the moment because they're not at home. And he's like,
it's pretty darn sharp for an
8-year-old. I love that. Yeah, it's like 11 o'clock at night, probably later. And he's like, the mom's helping him get dressed, put his coat on. And he's like, literally, "I won't be intimidated by the people who murdered my father." It's like, wow, this kid's already a badass.
Yeah.
He's like, "Fuck her. I'll talk to the bitch." Literally what it says. Hey guys, cool thumb up pick for the vid. Yay.
Yay.
Thanks, other Jerry. It's other Jerry. Or not Gary. It's a Jerry with a G. With a name I can't pronounce. So
Jimba's like, "Where's that son of mine? Is he off having a drink again?"
Oh yeah, I forgot to write that down. Yeah. So literally he knows he's at the bar, but he's trying to save your life. Shut up, Jimba. Just want to shut up, Jimba. So he goes in there and she just starts talking to him, like, talking to him. "Oh, look at the little guy. It's fine. Yeah. How are you doing? It's okay. Your dad died." What? That's not what she says.
It's like Caecilia tries to patronize him, and he's having none of it.
He literally has none of it. But she basically says, people are fighting and dying in the streets due to the riots. And it's like, I don't know how we got to this situation. And she goes, "Well, it's probably all started when you guys killed my dad."
It's like, didn't all this begin when your family murdered my father?
Yeah,
just
straight up.
And it's straight face. And he actually has a bit of a smirk going on.
He does, and he's definitely his head tilted at her the whole time. Mm-hmm. And like I wrote down, straight savage.
Pretty much, yeah.
And she's taken aback just a little, and like she tries to talk to him again. I forget exactly what he said or what she says. And then he said, "Who told you that? Yeah, mom? Who told you that? No, was it Jimba? Jimba did that, right? He's crazy. Don't listen to the old guy." And he's sort of like, "Hey, come on now. You came here. You came all this way to have a discussion, didn't you? But if all you're gonna do is scold me as if I was a child, then I'm not gonna stand for it." And she goes,
and he starts to leave.
And then he turns. He's like, "I'm gonna go if you're just gonna bullshit me." And he open the door. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to bed. It's like, I got dressed for this shit, bitch. Get to it. Basically, is what he says. So she's like, No. I'm sorry. Gomenasai. So basically, she comes in. She's like, "Hey, I need you guys to go back to your house. You guys have a house. It's over there. Remember, you guys had a house, and it's
really
fine.
cool house.
It's a cool house. We got it set up. We got it set up for you and everything. It's great. So here's the deal. Can you just go home? Like, not be here. I don't want you to be here. Be there. Okay?
Away from the murder. I mean,
get away from the murder. I mean, not murders. The riots. Get away from them. Get away from the riots because your house is safe. It's fine.
We'll protect
you. In exchange for going, if you go home, we'll drop all this nonsense. It'll be fine. Everybody will be protected. Nobody will be murdering anyone else. And we'll tell the rioters to calm the fuck down. It'll be fine.
And Jimbo's like, it's a trap.
He's yelling it from the outside. Don't listen to her. It's a trap. And they're like, shut up. Like, just actually, lucky they took her gun from her.
Did you see all the people that were pressed up against the door, though?
Yeah,
like you had like you had like one guy with a baseball bat. There's another person who has a pistol out.
Yeah, they're literally like, we're gonna stop her somehow. Sure you are. I'm sure they took her weapon away from her, but apparently they forgot her cuffs. I'm surprised nobody went, why do you have handcuffs? But yeah, that different series it would have been there. But basically, definitely they're gonna kill the Rals if they leave. Basically, as soon as the Dakins are out, the house is just gonna get shelled. Basically, and he's like, no, there won't be any retaliation. Sasro sucked. We're not gonna bother. Don't worry about that. And he's like, okay, fine. If you give me your solid word that there will be no retaliation, then we'll go. It'll be fine. But that whole thing about how y'all killed my dad, I'm not gonna forget about that. You know, and then it's gonna come down to, and then she just like, fuck you, grabs his ass,
picks him up like a sack of potatoes.
Yeah, she looked like she was about to suplex him. I thought she was literally about to just toss him over her shoulder. I was like, that got her. That's what I thought was crazy. She was keeping her cool. She stayed patronizing until he said that, and she just like, fuck you, like just picks up. And literally the rest of the whole conversation is, I ain't scared to hit a kid. It's like, you know, basically pins him on the couch, like very rapey like, and
yeah,
a little disturbing if I'm honest. But the point was, look, you're a little kid, I'm an adult, I can hold you down and do whatever I want to you. You know, I can have you arrested, I could kill you, I can do all these things. Any shit you could do to me.
And all through this, he doesn't let out a word. He doesn't scream or anything like that. He's a little bit surprised when she lifts him up, but he does not scream out for help or anything like that.
Yeah, he reacts to when he picks her up, but that's it. He doesn't scream. He's like, ugh, you know, like, oh, this crazy woman just picked me up. But she threatens him and says, you didn't cry out for help because you don't fear me. You think no one will hurt you because of who you are, or no one. She says harm. I don't care. And it's like she cuffs him and says, what are you gonna do now? I can cuff you. I can throw your ass in jail and call you a criminal. Ain't nobody gonna do anything about it. And she's like, tell me you're afraid, because I know you are. And he's like, I'm not afraid of you. Just straight faced. I'm not afraid of you. And he's like, I'm Dakin's son. No one can do this to me.
So get these the fuck off of me.
Yeah. What she says is, you know, her father is the most powerful man in the nation now. If he orders it, I'll tie your hands and feet. And he said, I'm still the son of Zeonzum Dakin. I'll grow up and make Dakin and the rest of you bow to me. Casval Rem Dakin orders you to take these off me. Yeah. It's like, shit. And then it just stops. That's the end of the fucking episode.
Yeah. Just when things are really starting to heat up, basically.
And the thing is, you know, you got all these people outside who definitely are hearing what's happening. And given that this is like a statesman's house, every room is bugged. Let's just be honest. So there's no way nobody knows what's happening in this room. And he's not being quiet about it anyways. So it's like, okay, so you harm this little kid amongst friendlies, you know, and people who could get the word out in theory, you know, and he's just basically stone cold. you fucked with the wrong person. The 8-year-old has now told you how life is going to be. And like, wow. Like, it's all I can say is like, obviously we know that later down the line, Char is Char. But like, to see that even as a little kid, as Casval, he's still a stone cold badass.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, like this is a great introduction. And I believe the original run of this, like the first movie was called what, Blue Eyed Casval or something like that?
Something like that, I think.
Or Casval the Blue Eyes, something like, or with the Blue Eyes.
Blue Eyes White Castle.
Yeah, Blue Eyes White Casval.
Blue Eyes Red Comet.
he definitely has like 3,000 attack points. But yeah, no, it's a great intro to this new Federation verse, or this new Universal Century situation. I almost missed the stream because I wanted to keep watching after that cliffhanger. Oh, that's funny. Like, okay, so he was trying to catch it. That's one good thing, is that these episodes are short. I mean, if you minus the intro and outro, they're like 20 minutes. So if you're not taking extensive notes like us, where it takes like an hour to an hour and a half to write out your notes, it's pretty easy watch. Like, I watched it first and then went back and rewatched it to take the notes. That's usually how we do. And now, given that we're not dealing with brand new episodes, you guys can watch these things at any given point right before the streams, because we generally go live around about the same time every week. So it'll be pretty easy to predict when we're going to do that. Who's this cast look like? Captain Vegeta. What? All blonde hair, blue-eyed people look the same to you? Have you never been to Space Sweden? All right. So Eric says he's trying to keep away from the PG by thinking about what he wants to build for Model Mania.
What's Model Mania?
Contest. When's Model Mania, Eric? I haven't seen any posts about it. Full frontal, yeah, full frontal. That's Captain Vegeta. Doing the Lord's work. But yeah, no, I thought this was great. Like, because I'm a UC noob, I've only seen modern, Unicorn and Up UC stuff. It's cool to go see these reworkings of the old characters, and of course, I know that it goes into adult Char and stuff like that. Obviously, it's not even like, and I know there's an episode or two with Amuro getting the Gundam or studying the Gundam stuff. I've seen that kind of thing, bits and pieces here and there. But like, seeing early Casval to me matters.
Yeah, it's really cool stuff. And I'm part of the reason I like the idea of us doing this is because I want to see your reaction to all this UC stuff that's coming in, because I know this isn't really your forte. This isn't your domain, as it were.
No, it's gonna be the same thing when we get around to watching 00 for this Double October, and you got to sit through all the 00. We won't be doing full on reviews of that, but we'll like have you watch and summarize the episodes. I'll have you run that because it's something you haven't really seen.
I mean, I've watched through them. I've just never really paid super close attention to them.
That's the point. It's like, how are you watching it and not paying attention? I had to explain to you how GN drives work because you were confused about how the 00 Quanta's GN drives didn't look like ones that we've seen before.
Well, it's like, where are the GN drives on the Quanta? It doesn't have the little cone thing down there, and you're like, it doesn't need to have the cone thing.
Yeah, those are specific. Like, it's like even the later one, the later generation Gundams from season 2 generally don't use them except for the 00. It's like, you don't need the cone extension for a GN drive to work. The solar furnace is the thing that does most of the work. The GN drive is the thing that spins from the particles going through it and actually send the particles out through the body for propulsion and weapons and all the other bullshit. So I sent you the freaking wiki article so that you can read it. Like, this is how GN drives work. Live it, learn it. And yeah, technically they're perpetual energy machines once they're created, but they have to be created in Jupiter's atmosphere due to the specific unstable, unpredictable things that are there that actually create the conditions for GN particles to be made.
Huh.
That's why
I've seen that part in there.
You have to read further. You have to read further into the article to see that's why they go to Jupiter. They have like ships in orbit that have to like lower the drives down into the atmosphere. They basically turn on the whoop button, sucks shit up. But of course, now that we know from the movie why Jupiter has these unique things going on, that's how we got GN drives. Just all circular.
Which means all those people that are like, I just choose not to accept that Waking of a Trailblazer is canon, or
it's definitely canon because it ties everything together. There's a reason all the shit goes down on Jupiter. Aliens. They need to remake the OG series with the origin style. Yes, I 100% agree. I don't care how long it takes and how much money it takes. People will fucking watch it. Like, that's the thing. Look at this 00 nerd. Yeah, that's right. Gundam is not something you can listen to while building. You can listen to the dub. You shouldn't, but you can.
I've often listened to or watched dubbed Gundam while building stuff. Heck, I think at one point I was like rewatching my old Gundam Seed DVDs while I was building stuff at one point.
I can't, I could turn on a lot of other things when I'm building or working on stuff, but I can't put on a Gundam series or any other anime because I don't accept dubs.
Fair enough.
But what's funny is I will put one on, like something I've seen to some degree, and I'll be having it running in the background. And I'll be like, oh, I know what they're talking about. Like, it's not that I can understand Japanese I can definitely understand it better than I used to, just from watching anime for so many years. But you can pick up on some of the things they're talking about. Conversations. You kind of get the gist of what they're saying without even watching it. And so, like, that's kind of the benefit of these things. They definitely need to remake OG 79 origin style. Just give us all the things. Like, go all the way through Zeta. It's like, just start doing it. Like, even compress it. Like, even if they do what they did with Origin, kind of compress some of the storylines down a little, without cutting out important stuff. I'd be down for that. I'd watch it.
Well, that's kind of what I think Zeta: A New Translation is. It's the movie version of Zeta where they take like the first half of the series or something like that, and they add in some new animation, change up a couple of things here and there, and make it easier for people. What does Devastator think about it?
He thinks it's all bullshit. Transformers, man. Trailblazer wasn't the best written, but it's fun as hell. People complain about the silly things in Gundam. Look, with the movies, you got to take them with a grain of salt. The movies are what they are, especially if they're a finale to a series. But for me, even though there was a time skip, Awakening of the Trailblazer made more sense than Endless Waltz did. Because there's a big gap in stuff between Endless Waltz and the end of the series. You're like, wait, why do all the Gundams look like this now? It's like, where was like, how did we get from here to here? Without, because I went back and rewatched all those things, but it's just like Awakening of the Trailblazer, you don't have that problem. It's just like literally, oh, they explain right at the beginning, things have kept going, more innovators have popped up, more natural innovators are happening, the world is progressing, they're gathering more stuff for the Celestial Being and Federation, doing all these things together, blah 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 blah. Oh, and some shit is coming at us. Oh, I mean, a ship is coming at us.
And then they saying that that this was all part of Eoya Shinbird's plan, that this was the dialogues to come. And I mean, considering the fourth dimensional chess stuff that he was doing before, I certainly buy it. That it's like, yeah, this was all him prepping mankind to basically stop fighting over stupid shit, so that way we can make our way into the galactic community.
Yeah, he definitely had an understanding. Once he discovered GN particles, I think it started raising his consciousness to really know that there were more things coming. And the fact that 200 years in the past, he predicted accurately what things are going to do. But he also did that thing where he developed the technology and started giving certain countries and companies nudges in the direction to make his predictions happen. So he advanced things in such a way that it could get to his predictions. And then he planned so far ahead that he planned for his own eventual betrayal and death. It's just like, dude had plans on top of plans on top of plans. And like, I appreciate that.
We should totally do a review discussion on 00 stuff. I think that'd be
we will, because that's going to be part of Double October this year. There's probably won't be that many kits, so we got to fill it out with something. But I think having you rewatch the series and pay attention to it will be great. And then I still think we should do the live viewing of the movie, so get your reaction, and then we can discuss it.
I have seen the movie though, just saying.
Yeah, but we got to watch it again.
And again,
because you have to understand things.
There's never too much 00.
Gundam the Origin stream, Gundam 00 talk. Yeah. Well, there's not a lot to talk about with Origin. I mean, like, we talked about this. I mean, like, I like the Origin kits, especially the MSD stuff. But
the Zaku kit, at least the Zaku 1 is a phenomenal kit and one of my favorite builds from last year.
Yeah, exactly. There's MG Curios coming. Yes, we've talked about it. Contact with Aliens was Shinberg's plan, but it wasn't that early. Veda covered his gaps hard. Yeah, but he developed Veda. It's like he created the quantum computer that could do a lot of things. They need to do that for all the Gundam side stories, like the side stories for 00. Yep. Veda is the MVP of 00. Yeah, Veda was just programmed to scan all the things and make predictions based on said scanning. So it was like his mind. He basically, actually, considering he was part of Veda in such a way, how do we know that it wasn't partly his mind inside Veda doing things? Mm-hmm. Like full on Ein on this thing. Think about that, motherfuckers. Anyways. But yeah, that's basically for this discussion. Obviously, we'll pick it up maybe next week. We'll see what happens. Obviously, with birthday happenings, we will be getting together on the 14th, probably.
Yeah,
and probably doing a live stream as we mess around with stuff. You know, maybe this guy. We'll see what happens. We've both gotten a lot more toys since we got together. So, and stick around on my channel this week. Lots of reviews coming out, Gunpla, non-Gunpla things, including a thing like mostly things you guys have no idea that I built. How about that? And in your case, what do you got coming?
Let's see. Like for next week, or this week, I got the Argangan, and if stuff is coming in when I think it is, Friday's video is I'm gonna have Rodimus come back in and do a in the kitchen video.
Fucking evil guy. Why? He doesn't need to come back. He fulfilled his purpose in October.
He's been behaving. I fear I reward the good behavior.
Whatever. Just don't bring him with you. I don't want. I had enough of that guy. He wrangled me into doing a damn spell. Either way, you guys don't know what we're talking about this channel, and check it out. Or check out the playlist on my channel.
Yes.
Loving the stream. Good way to end work. Cool. Guys, do the like and subscribe thing, both to me or to him, or, you know, yes, Devastator. Please. Subscribe to Devastator. He'll love it. And yeah, I keep messing with him, putting him in different poses. So that's the thing. Review on that coming slowly. But we will see you guys hopefully next week, or at least whenever we talk to you at some point coming up. And happy birthday to me and you and Pikamus. Yeah, trying to steal my birthday.
My son has the exact same birthday as him.
Yeah, it's weird. He's got a 37-year-old son. It's really weird. Exact same birthday. So, all right, guys, we'll see you next time. Remember, as always, to keep on building and to keep on nerding. And Castle did nothing wrong.
And I'll see you the next time you invade my shelf space.
Yeah. Seriously though, Game of Thrones in space.
Game of Thrones in space.
Game of Thrones in space.